There are two words in our language that you probably use multiple times a day. I think they're the two most important words in our language because they identify who we are. Those words, I am. And if you're like most people, then whenever you're being asked who you are, you probably respond with work. With somewhere fairly fast, you'll answer like, this is what I do. You know, I am a designer. I am an artist. I am a marketing consultant, whatever it is that you do. And in this video, I want to share with you how identifying with purely the role is potentially keeping you from new opportunities. It's keeping you from growth, and potentially it's keeping you from change. Now, if your current work is exactly the way it is, the way you want it to be, if the results are exactly the way you want it to be, then don't watch this video. But if it's not, if there's growth for more revenue, or if there's a career change you want, a promotion, anything, then stay tuned. Hey, I am Rianne, and I am a motivational speaker on the topic of worthiness and self-worth. I'm super curious and passionate about those topics, and I love inspiring and empowering people to feeling more worthy, to being, doing, and having everything they desire. Now, like I said in the intro, this week I want to talk about identity, about I am, because it's such a powerful word, or two words, and actually identifying with your work. And I want to take you back 10 years ago. I was a marketing and communication manager in a corporate job. And at that time, it was just the financial crisis had just really, exploded. And I was managing a big transition in my company, like a reorganization of a marketing team, 29 people. And we were, I sigh when I think back of it, but it was rough. We were working our butts off, and we still felt it was never enough. We were trying to change and also, working harder as ever. And I was a marketing communications manager, big team, big responsibility, and I burnt out. I just burnt out. And one afternoon, my manager and HR director came to me and they said, Rianne, you need some time out. You need some time away. And they sent me home. And that afternoon, because they knew me really, really well, and I knew I was a workaholic, they decided to revoke my remote access to my accounts. So overnight, I was robbed, that's how I saw it, of my job. Even though I wasn't fired, not at all. They were amazing. I wasn't fired, but I was robbed. And I sat here on my couch and I lost it. I completely lost it because I did not know who I was without my job. Like, I am Rianne. I am a marketing communications manager. If you take that away from me, who was I? And it was rough. It was really, really rough because I attached so much meaning to being in that role. It meant to me at that time, it meant I was smart. It meant that I was accomplished. It meant that I was recognized and seen. And it meant that I was appreciated. And that all meant I was worthy. I completely attached my worthiness and my sense of self to this accomplishment and being recognized and seen by others. And I had to go on this big journey. I had help. I had lots of help to rediscover a sense of self. Who am I? Who was I without all of that? Was I worthy without all of that? And of course I was, but I didn't know because I completely attached the meaning to that position, to all of that. And that drove my actions because I worked my ass off 80 hours a week. That was my behavior because I felt like, okay, I need to do more. I need to be better. I need to be more smart or smarter. I need all of that. So when all of a sudden it was gone, and that was a whole journey. Now, if you've been listening, your mind probably went to, okay, what meaning do I associate with my work? And that's actually a perfect journaling question. Like, if you are currently a designer, or you're an artist, or you're a business consultant or coach, whatever it is that you are, yoga teacher, I don't care, whatever it is you are, if tomorrow you weren't that, what would that mean? Who are you without that work? And with that work, what meaning do you give to it? What does it say about you that you are that specific role? And take some time to do some deep digging, because this is important stuff. Because remember, your worthiness is not attached to your accomplishments, because that would mean that people who don't accomplish stuff aren't worthy, and that's completely and utterly false. Now, I said in the beginning that if your work currently isn't the way you want it to be, meaning you don't experience joy, or you don't have the outcome that you want yet, or the type of work that you do is not satisfactory, then what I want you to do next is picture the ideal job for you. Like, and I'm going to take another example, show you another example in a minute. But picture you having the perfect career for you. What would that look like? Who would a person who already has that career, who would she be? What characteristics does she have? What ways of being, so to speak? And what habits are associated with those ways of being? How does she show up? Do some journaling about that. And then try to figure out, okay, how can I associate it in my life now? And what is different from how I show up now? Like, for example, I'm shifting to being a business coach, a marketing coach for my entire career, to being a motivational speaker. So I did some deep digging. Okay, if I picture myself as a successful motivational speaker, one who doesn't burn out, I still want to have a very chill life because I am lazy. It's a shadow of me that I'm actually kind of friends with. I like to get maximum results in the least amount of effort, and I'm not ashamed of it whatsoever. But going back, if I am a successful motivational speaker, how do I show up? What are my ways of being? And I define them as being courageous, being vulnerable, being inspiring. And what habits are associated with that? Well, obviously, a motivational speaker speaks. So without ever having received an invitation to speak on stage, I started to speak. I'm using this platform. Like, literally, that's what I do every single week. I'm practicing my speech, my speaking. And in that process, I learn. And it's amazing because, you know, the internet is so awesome. You give me feedback. So that's how I learn. So I want you to do the same exercise. You know, the most successful version of you in the career of your choosing. What ways of being does she have? How does she show up? Who is she? Instead of saying, I am a yoga teacher or I am a business consultant, what ways of being? You know, what characteristics are underneath? And then what habits are associated with? And start slowly identifying with those ways of being. So instead of identifying with the role, identify with the characteristics of that you associate with that role. And that's how you slowly give new meaning to whatever it is you identify with, to identification with your work. I hope this was useful. I realize it's a little bit more abstract, this topic maybe, but as usual, I have a whole set of journaling questions for you. It's in the download, available in the description box if you're watching this on YouTube, or in the comments if you're watching this anywhere on social media, or in the bio if you're watching it on Instagram. Anywhere, just find it. And if nobody else tells you this today, you are worthy. You were born worthy. You are perfect and worthy from the moment you stepped into this earth. Your accomplishments do not determine your worthiness. So I want you to know that you deserve to be, do, and have everything you want. You have to work for stuff, but you don't have to deserve. You already deserve it because you want it. It's enough. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week.